Hi everyone, hope that you're well. How has your week been? So we're going to do another reading. This is the second in the new batch of Meet Your Match readings. I've already done the first one. So as I said in the previous reading, this channel isn't focused on love readings. It is more like spiritual development, general messages, stuff like that. But every now and then, as a bit of a romantic, someone who loves a love story, I do like to touch on sort of love themed readings. So again, this one it's like an energetic compatibility quiz. Obviously you're not doing the quiz, so the quiz is basically your energy and the person's energy who would be a good match for you. The result of the quiz, of looking at the energies, the tarot cards give us the result of that. So basically it's for anyone who is curious about who would be a good romantic match for them, whether you're looking for a life partner, something shorter term, whatever, whether you're already partnered up. The reading may or may not resonate, just need to say that. Nothing at all is set in stone. It's not intending for me to tell you who you should date or who you shouldn't date, or to tell you how you should behave, what your personality should be if you want to be with this type of person. Use your own discernment. I don't want it to feel restrictive at all. It's more about looking at who could possibly bring out the best in you, in terms of enjoyable experiences and challenges as well, and vice versa with you for them. So it might give you some ideas of what might work best for you in a relationship or kind of person, and also get you to think about what you value and appreciate about yourself in a relationship and as a person as well. So basically what you both bring to the table. So it's going to be in two parts. The first part is the reading about the person, their traits, what they're like, etc. And then the second part of the reading is focused on what that person will love about you, what they'll value, appreciate, respect about you as an individual as well. So again, just to reiterate, nothing is set in stone here, and it's not telling you who you should or shouldn't be with. If you're with someone already and they don't match this, it doesn't resonate, then it doesn't mean break up with them or anything like that. If it doesn't resonate, then it's probably not your reading. There'll be other readings out as well. Let's get on with it anyway, because I've talked enough. So first, as I say, we're going to look at the energy of this person who could be a good match for you. In the previous reading, I said I was going to call it best match reading, but that it almost felt a bit restrictive, me saying it like that. And I have tested this reading out before I recorded the first one, and I thought I really loved it. I enjoyed doing it, and I enjoyed the one I've just recorded as well. So that's why I'm doing another one, and I'll probably do one more. For some reason, I have a thing about things being in three. So yeah, it's usually three. If I'm going to do more than one, it has to be three. So let's look at this person. What do we need to know about this person who's a good match for the viewer? Let's see. Try that again. So the Emperor tried to pop out. I'm not going to take that because it felt like it kind of fell out of the deck rather than flew out of the deck. Might come out again. What do we need to know about this person? So we've got the Seven of Cups, first of all. We have the I nearly said Three of Wands then, Three of Swords. I already feel like this is a vulnerable person. I do. I feel like this is a vulnerable person already, but let's see what else comes out. We've got the Knight of Swords. Why am I getting so confused in this reading? King of Swords. What else do we need to know? I have an idea, but let's see what else comes out. There's something running through my mind. I know in the previous reading I did. It's meant to be like a freestyle reading, so it's whatever comes out, but the cards kind of read in columns, so everything down here was connected, that was connected, that was connected. Depending on what comes out, I almost feel like it might be in rows this time that it connects, but let's see, if at all. What else do we need to know about this person, please? That one first. Okay, we've got the Tower. I'm not going to be taking reversals for these. You've got the Three of Cups. What else? How am I taking these? I'm going to try that again. That didn't feel right the way those came out. There we go. That's better. We have the High Priestess. We have the key. Yeah, I get this. I think I get this. This might be a little bit of a complex person. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but let's see. So two more, or two-ish more. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. One more. Two of Cups. I feel like this person has, they've been, I don't know if they're as vulnerable. Well, okay. I feel like it's someone that's had to do a lot of work on themselves, and they probably were quite vulnerable in the past. I get a lot of I mean, I know the Page of Wands is there, but even, I mean, is this a child or adult? I can't tell if it's a child or adult, but it feels like a child energy, and that Three of Swords feels like a child. I don't think the Three of Swords is a child, but it feels like a child energy. So they may have been through a lot as a kid, if I'm being honest with you. And they've had to work on themselves, and that has made them stronger. Oh, but in terms of the vulnerability, as I say, it may be that they've been vulnerable. I would say for the most part now they're probably, well, they're not as vulnerable, but there is still that part of, I mean, we've all got it in us, haven't we? We've got that vulnerability in us, but there may be an old wound there that's within them that's quite vulnerable, and I feel like it might be family connected. It might be to do with their family. Yeah, it's from their family. Okay. Let's look through it. I'm just looking at the structure to see if it makes sense where the cards connect that way, in rows, columns, or in rows. But it almost feels like it's both, to be honest, because I feel like that Seven of Cups, Three of Cups, sorry, Three of Swords is where they've been, and this is where they are now in that King of Swords energy. So although they've been through that, it's like they've overcome it, and it's made them strong, and they've learned a lot from it, and they've gained a lot of wisdom from whatever they've been through. It's, as I say, there's vulnerability in this Seven of Cups, which is usually nothing to do with the Seven of Cups, but that's what I feel. Confusion, and as I say, this, it's with their childhood. It's something in their childhood that was confusing. Maybe they didn't have a stable family life. Maybe the things they witnessed, there was something confusing about that, and they probably would have been all over the place emotionally as a child, to be honest. But as I say, whatever they've been through, it's made them who they are now. Very strong person. They've been through a lot, and they're very strong now. We've got the Three of Swords. The word youth work has come into mind. So this, and the King of Swords can be an advisor. So because of what they've been through, this person might now be a youth worker or someone who provides advisory services. It could be a probation officer, a lawyer, psychology, maybe, possibly a medical profession as well is coming to mind too. I was trying to ask myself mentally police, and it was like, no, no, not police. I mean, it could be, but no, probably not police. Okay, so Three of Swords, as I said, it again, this feels like their childhood. It feels like something to do with their childhood, pain from the childhood, old stories, old wounds from the childhood. But as I say, it's made them really, they feel like really strong. They might be quite serious a lot of the time. They might seem serious because they're just, it's like, I don't want to say a coping mechanism, but okay, so this is going to sound weird. I'm going to say it anyway, because yeah, this is how I can relate to it, the expression on their face. I went through a good few years in my life where I've said before, I've gone through phases of depression, anxiety, etc. And I was stressed out for a very long time, like severely stressed for a very long time. And you know, can you imagine the facial expression of someone who's very stressed? So that happened to me. And then I've noticed, like in the past year or so, that expression has stuck on my face. Like my face in neutral looks stressed. And I think it's because of that experience, because I was in that phase for such a long time, it stuck. So I've always got this expression on my face. If I'm not actively smiling or laughing, my neutral face looks stressed now. And that's the vibe I get with this person, is that because of what they've been through, they've just got this very serious expression on their face. Like, it doesn't mean they're a mean person or anything like that, or you can't have a laugh with them, but that's like their neutral facial expression at this point in time now. The word stoic is coming to mind as well, and just very tough and strong. But that, on the positive of that, there's a very protective energy with it as well. So whoever they partner up with, they will be quite protective of that person and willing to stand up for them. They're like, stand up for the truth. They'll stand up for justice in whatever that means in their life, but they'll stand up for the people that they really connect with and care about as well. Very intelligent person as well. And the thought of self-taught is coming to mind. Not to say that they couldn't have gone to university, and especially if they're a medical professional or something, but it's like they've had to teach. It's almost like, I almost get the impression that they've had to be their own parent to a certain degree and teach themselves a lot of things, whether it is academically or just life skills. So yeah, they may have had a hard life, to be honest. There's something solitary about this person as well, a solitary vibe. Okay. Let's look at the tower next. So as I say, that again, you've got the tower, you've got the page of wands. Again, childhood. Something in this person's childhood has been hard, painful, confusing, complicated. You got the tower there, so they could have had a major... Do I want to clarify it to be nosy? Let's do it. Let's clarify it and see if it gives us some clues. I almost feel like they may have had to deal with a death at a very young age of a parent. I didn't really want to say it, but it's there. Or somebody close within the family. What's the tower, please? And that would be confusing. That would cause pain and yeah, have a massive impact. We've got the Two of Swords in reverse. We have the Star. Anything else? We've got the Knight of Swords. Should I get one more for that? Yeah, okay. So it's not giving me the death, like death specifically. That message came up by itself, and that is still a possibility. For me, the Tower, it is a catastrophic, dramatic event. It's instability. It feels like in their childhood, as I say, they would have, I already said self-taught, they would have had to make a very, it would have been confusing, but they would have had to make a very difficult decision. With that Two of Swords and the Knight of Swords there, they would have had to make a very difficult decision. The thing I like about this person, as I said, they're very strong. And I was going to say, with the Page of Wands being there anyway, without the clarifiers even, it's like despite what they went through or have been through, even at a young age, they were still kind of curious and ready to kind of explore life and make the most of life. And then you've got the Star there as well, which confirms that for me, that whatever they've been through, it might have been tough, but there was still that little bit of hope or faith within them. And the thing is, with this person, in terms of their beliefs or faith, I don't think it's someone who's religious. And I don't even know if it's someone that's necessarily spiritual, like acknowledges that they're spiritual, but it's like they have that within them naturally, where with that Star, again, there's like a natural sense of having hope and faith, even if they didn't like proclaim that they believe in God or the universe or spirituality or things like that. Like, they might not proclaim it or admit to it, but there's just an innate sense of having faith and hope within them, to go out into the world and I feel like saying get on with it, to be honest, to get on with it. And that's not to put down anyone who's had difficulties and they've struggled, etc. it's just that this is how that person is, that they've been able to go out and get on with it, and they kind of know who they are and what they want to go for as well. They know who they are. That's another point as well. But as I say, there's that curiosity with that Page of Wands, that even though they've been through all of that, it's still like, you know, not to say it hasn't hurt, because the wounds are going to stay still. They're still going to be like scars emotionally and everything. But there's just still an energy there of, okay, I've got to survive. I've got to live. I've got to see what else is out there in the world with that Page of Wands. I almost feel, I'm getting a thought with this person that it's almost, you know, when you get people that like kids, but they're almost afraid to have kids because they don't know how life is going to turn out. It's giving that kind of vibe as well with that child here with the Page of Wands. It's like a curiosity about having kids, but knowing how tough they had it, it's like, I don't know if it's a good idea. But they would probably be a really good parent, is the impression I'm getting here. Three of Cups is there. Three of Cups. I would say they're a good friend. They can be very supportive. What else? I feel like they need more fun in their life. It is someone who needs more fun in their life. And it's almost like they probably need someone to bring that side of them out more, bring them out of their shell a little bit more in that sense. Okay. I feel like going to the Queen of Pentacles next. Again, it's a supportive energy. They are again someone who's supportive, and they know what matters to them. My throat went very dry then. I don't know why that is. Just give me a minute. They know what's important to them. They know what they value, and they are very supportive and caring, can be very caring. I feel like they have strong moral values as well, which isn't surprising with the King of Swords, but with the Queen of Pentacles as well. So it's not just logical morals, it's like a genuine sense of care and respect as well, of what's important and what's valuable. And again, with that Queen of Pentacles there, it makes me feel like, regardless of whether this is a man or a woman, they would be a very good parent, but there's a bit of uncertainty about if it would be a good idea to bring kids into this world or not. Right, we've got the High Priestess. We're going to move on now. So we're looking at the High Priestess. I think they're a very good judge of character and situations, and part of that comes from what they've been through in their past. They've got a strong gut instinct, but again, they might not even acknowledge that, and there may be more for them to tap into spiritually and in terms of their intuition and stuff, and they just haven't. Let's clarify that. Let's look at it out of curiosity. But as I say, stronger instinct, strong intuition, very wise, street smart, possibly even intelligent as well. It's almost like, you know, when you get people who are naturally tapped in spiritually, but they don't really acknowledge it. So like, say if someone was capable of being a psychic, but they just haven't tapped into that, it's giving that kind of vibe. Let's look at that High Priestess. They haven't tapped into it. They haven't tapped into some kind of gift, ability, treasure, something to that effect. Two of Pentacles. I feel like saying there's more to explore with that Chariot, which there is for everyone, isn't there? There's always going to be more to explore. But yeah, showing up as something very spiritual, or some part of their intuition that they haven't really tapped into. You've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Chariot. That is where it can be movement, can't it? Movement forward. It just feels like there's more to explore. And then, as I say, the Ace of Pentacles there, that is an opportunity to explore. The gate's open if you want it, if you want to go towards that. With the Two of Pentacles there, it can be that there's something that they've thought about. So say if it was someone who is kind of naturally tapped in spiritually, but they just don't want to, maybe they're more on the logical side and they're like, oh yeah, I don't really want to get into that. That's a bit of a back and forth that with that, where it's like, but you already know this, you already tapped into this, so why are you kind of trying to avoid it? It can also be the Two of Pentacles, where they've just got other stuff going on in their life, so they've already got other stuff they're juggling, and that's just not their focus at this point in time. Okay, but yeah, very strong gut instincts, this person, good intuition, naturally, just naturally, without even trying. Then we've got the Two of Cups here at the bottom. This is someone who I would say values a good relationship, values a good connection and a good relationship. Let's do a little bit of clarification on that. This one needs more clarification because this person is one complex person. Oh wow, I like that. They've got a lot to give. They've got so much to give. And it almost feels like they need a very specific type of person, or the right person to bring it out in them, because they've just got other stuff that they've dealt with and other stuff going on in their life that it's not necessarily been their focus, even if it's something that they are open to. It feels like, as I say, they've got a lot to give, they've got a lot to share, they value stuff like that, and whoever they end up with, I think they would treat the person very, very well. And I would say they probably have high standards as well. You've got the Empress there. Let's just get one or two more. We've got the Moon. I don't think they've found what they're looking for yet. So this reading, well, yeah, it could be for someone single or for someone partnered up already and the story's already played out. If it's someone who's found their partner already. Why is my throat getting so dry? Just bear with me a minute. So it's either someone who they haven't found what they're looking for yet, or it took them a very long time to find what they're looking for. And as I say, I would say part of that is that because they have such high standards, that it's like they're not just going to give themselves to anyone. With the Moon and the Seven of Wands there, they want to find someone that really matches their standards and that they can really be happy with as well, as we all do. It feels very sacred, like a good relationship feels very sacred to them, and they want something deep and meaningful as well. I can't imagine, I mean, it's possible, but it doesn't seem like the kind of person that's had, do I want to say that they haven't had a lot of partners? Maybe that they haven't had a lot of partners. Or even if they went through that, say if, like when they were in their early 20s or as a teenager, they went on a bloody mad one, if you want to call it that, where they just slept with loads of people. It depends on their age as well. It's like they're at a point in time now where it's like, no, that's sacred. It's sacred. I want to find the right person, the right connection, and I'm not just going to settle for just anything. It's got to be right. There's something with that Nine of Cups as well, where it feels like they need to know that they can be themselves and be happy, be themselves in a partnership and feel happy on their own as well. What am I trying to say here? They don't want to get to, they want to find someone that they really value and have a good connection, but they don't want to feel, what am I trying to say? They don't want to feel like the relationship is the be all and end all, where if it ends, they're just devastated, you know? They need to have that sense of, well, I'm happy as I am as an individual, whether this works or not. I think hopefully that makes sense to someone. I know that's a bit of a weird way to put it. They want to be happy within themselves as well as share a relationship with someone too. Okay. That was a really strong energy in that reading with this person. Really complex person, but they just got so much to give, and yeah. Very strong. If I had to title the reading for this person, it would have the word strong in it. And I'm surprised the strength card didn't come up, so it may be There's a lot of mental strength here with the King of Swords in particular, mental strength. They've been through a lot and you'd have to have a strong mind. I think strong mind, strong mind, that would probably be the title. You got to have a strong mind to deal with certain things. So yeah, part 2 of the reading. This one's longer than the first one, but it's fine. It's all good. The first one didn't need that much clarification because it wasn't as complicated, but let's look at your energy now. Well, let's look at what they would love about you. So whatever they would respect, value, appreciate about you. What would they see in you that they absolutely love? You as the viewer, if it resonates. So again, 9 cards. That got the Hermit. That came out in the first reading for the energy of the viewer. Ooh, okay, you've got a strong energy as well. I can see why that would work. We've got the Devil there. This is what I call you've met, well, so far, this is what I call you've met your match, or it would definitely be meeting your match. The only difference I would say, because the Queen of Wands is more expressive and more passionate, that's the difference. That person, the best match, is a little bit more, like they're strong, but they're a little bit more reserved, whereas your energy is coming across as a bit more demonstrative, if that's the word. We've got the World. Oh God, when I'm hearing that bloody Diana Ross song with the World and the Queen of Wands, I'm coming out. I don't know if you've been through a phase recently or in the past where you've kind of been in that hermit mode and kept to yourself, and then it's like now is the time in your life where you've kind of come out of your shell fully. What else do we need to know? This one first. We've got the Four of Cups. You could potentially still be dealing with a little bit of insecurity about something. I'm not sure what yet, but we'll find out. You've got the Queen of Swords as well. Okay, I really like this energy together. The Hermit, the Four of Swords and Queen of Swords. We'll see now if your reading, your part of the reading is more along the lines of things going downwards in columns. I mean, it doesn't matter, but it was just interesting how that happened and it wasn't planned. What else do we need to know for you? The Lovers. Oh, still, yeah, I feel like it's going to be a column type reading this time. It feels like a column type reading. Again, that I'm coming out energy. One more. Right, your energy is a lot easier to read than the other person. A little bit, well, yeah, probably a little bit less complex and a little bit less difficulty. I think you might still be working on your confidence, to be honest. Possibly, but we'll have a look at those. We'll probably get a bit more clarification on those. Right. First of all, Hermit, Four of Swords, Queen of Swords. As I say, you may have been in a bit of a hermit mode or done a lot of self-discovery about who you are. And the Queen of Swords, when she comes out, that's where she's learned. To me, that's where she's learned who she is. This could be a man or a woman, you as a viewer, man or a woman, it doesn't matter, it's just the energies. But as I say, with that Hermit, yeah, it's a bit of an isolated period or just time to yourself to think about who you are, what you want, and follow your own path and let your own light guide you. Time to yourself, basically. I don't know if you are an introvert necessarily. It doesn't necessarily feel that way, but it's more about having that time to yourself. And then the Four of Swords, for me, it can be deep contemplation, can't it? Needing a break, taking a break out from the world or relationships in general to figure out who you are, what you want, what is the right path for you. Queen of Swords, again, as I say, I'm just reiterating now, she's learned who she is and what she wants now, and she's not afraid to express that. I'm getting the term in my mind, reads a lot. So you may be someone who reads a lot, or you have been reading a lot and just trying to figure things out. The word beautiful is coming to mind. So I don't know if somebody's recently called you beautiful, or people often tell you that you're beautiful or that there's something beautiful about you or your energy, but that word randomly came in. So I'm guessing that's very relevant. I would say that if you didn't before, you know how to protect yourself and your energy and your emotions now more so than you did previously. And you wouldn't put up with any bullshit now. And these are things that the person loves about you. By the way, I forgot to say that. I'm just reading the energy, but these are the things that the person loves about you, that you've taken the time out to figure out who you are and what you want. And that you are this, I mean, it was the King of Swords, wasn't it? Yeah, it was the King of Swords. So you've met your match with the Queen of Swords there. These are the things they admire about you now, is that you won't stand for any bullshit and you know who you are. And they would appreciate your beauty as well. Not just physically, but energetically as well. The beauty of who you are, if I can actually speak. Again, so going to this column now, it's the coming out energy. You've got the Queen of Wands. You've had your time to yourself, figured out who you are, what you want, and it's like, here I am. Come to me, here I am. Just looking to see what else I've got in the card. I feel like she's saying speak to me as well. Like tell me what you want kind of energy. I know what I want. Tell me what you want and we'll see if it can work. That's the kind of energy she's giving, and I think again that's something that he would like, or she, shall we say. It's just because it was the King of Swords that came up, so I said he. But that person would love that about you. They would find you very magnetic, is one word you get with the Queen of Wands. Magnetic, warm, a warm energy. I'm getting alluring and seductive as well. And I think because of that person, as I say, there was a bit, did I say there was a bit of a, I can't remember if I said there was a protective vibe, but obviously for someone who's had a bit of a difficult childhood, they need that reassurance, don't they? So that would come in helpful, you sort of having that vibe of telling them what you want and you tell me what you want. Did I say, was it this reading? See, when you do too many readings, it does get confusing. That energy of being able to be themselves and be happy within themselves, that somehow connects with this of tell me what you want, because he's sort of like encouraging and allowing and supporting them to be themselves as well and supporting their happiness. And that's another thing they would love about you as well. It almost feels like, in a weird way, it's a bit of a the first word that came to mind was challenge, and then something about chase is coming to mind as well, like the thrill of the chase, a little bit of the thrill of the chase, which is odd because, well, it's not odd. Okay, I think it's to do with flirtation or something here. That you'd be very good at flirting with this person, and they feel like that it creates the urge in them to want to chase and pursue you, because as I said, they're a bit reserved, they have high standards at this point in time, and they're not just going to go for anyone, but there's something, I don't know, it looks like there's something about you that brings out the, how do I want to go that far? Let's say primal urge in them, which, to be frank, they need a bit, it looks like they probably need more enjoyment in life, so that's not a bad thing. That is not a bad thing. But for the most part, as I say, this is you putting your energy out there, you being seen, and they like that about you. So what you see is what you get kind of energy. Let's have a look at the world here. It feels like being ready with the world. It's that they can see that you're ready for something genuine, a genuine relationship, and I think they like that about you. And with this card as well, with the world, it can be that you're very open as a person, and open to explore too, and open to different people's experiences as well. So like I feel like they know that they could tell you their story, and that is a Queen of Swords type energy as well, where she shares her story and she welcomes in other people's stories and truths too. But it's like they can tell you everything they've been through, and they know that there's not going to be any judgment there, that you'll just listen to them and take it all in, and that the stories that you share with each other as well about your experiences will help you to connect more closely, more deeply with each other too. You've got the Lovers there, which it is connection, isn't it? It's like intimacy. The intimacy builds a deep connection. You're ready for a deep connection, and that's what this person wants, so that is a massive turn on to them. And something again that they will love about you. Again, that word magnetic is just coming in. So if you believe in like a spiritual type connection, if you want to take it to the soulmate twin flame level, and I don't like to get too much into the whole twin flame thing because it can be, it can it can be a bit toxic, can't it? The twin flame thing, even the soulmate thing can be a bit toxic. So I think I usually use the word spiritual connection, and you take it how you will. But it almost feels, because this is like a hand fasting ceremony, and just because of the vibe from it, it's almost like if this is like, I mean, everybody's a soulmate that we hook up with in a way, aren't they? Because we learn something from each other. But like a just there's just something unique about this. The connection could be very unique and special. And there's a very spiritual vibe to it. I want to say spiritually ordained, but it feels a bit like I'm being over the top almost, but that's almost what it feels like with this hand fasting ceremony. And yeah, okay. So yeah, you're basically very open. What you see is what you get. You gotta come and get me kind of attitude. You inspire kind of a primal energy within them to come and get you. And you could have they can see that they could have a very, they would love about you is that they can see that they could have a very spiritual deep connection with you and just be themselves, be free. As I say, we've got the devil energy and the four of cups, which I said there's the possibility that, and combined with the six of wands, there might be a bit of a residual, let's call it residual, because you've done work on yourself here and you're ready and willing. There might be a bit of a residual lack of confidence. So we may clarify all of these and see what comes up for them. Devil first. Okay, I've got a thought on that, but let's see. Okay. Two of Swords. Seven of Wands. Do I want it in reverse or not? Take it in reverse and I'll get one more. Oh God, we get three more. I'm going to try that again because that's a lot. Justice and the Chariot. Okay. From this energy, what I'm feeling like is that the little bit of lack of confidence, I don't think it's lack of confidence in yourself, to be honest, but it feels like relationship wise, you've probably moved on, you have, but you've probably been let down in the, okay, you've probably been let down in the past. And I heard got the phrase crushed dreams in my mind. So I don't know if you've had relationships where it seemed like it was amazing and it was going to be this amazing thing, and then it ended, and crushed dreams. You've had to move on. You've had to move on from that, choose a new path. And so there may be a little bit of, and it's not abnormal at all, there may be a little bit of fear there about things working out relationship wise. Like, as much as you're ready to put yourself out there, it doesn't mean that you're just completely fearless and you've got no doubts whatsoever. So there might be a little bit of fear there. You just want to make sure you get what's best for you and you get what you want. Then I feel like this Chariot card is saying go the distance as well. I don't know why I feel like somebody here could have been engaged at one point, engaged to be married, and then it just didn't follow through. So there's a tiny bit of doubt or fear or worry there, but that shouldn't stop you. We all have our wounds and our fears and our doubts. Just because we have fears and wounds and doubts, it doesn't mean that we can't go for what we want and see how it goes and make the best of it and see if we can make it work, does it? I know sometimes when I've watched love readings this is more so years ago, sometimes when you hear things like, oh, well, you can't meet the right person because you're not fully healed and blah blah blah, and you have to be fully healed before you do this, that and the other. And I understand that point of view to a certain extent. Like, if you know that you're really really messed up, it's probably not the best idea to jump into a relationship if you're in a very vulnerable position and somebody could easily take advantage of you. But this whole thing of you have to be fully healed, nobody's ever going to be fully healed from anything. Well, not from anything, but we're always going to have something going on that we're working on within ourselves, aren't we? Like, how, what would you have to, you'd have to be some kind of saint or angel or God or something to go into a relationship being perfect. And, you know, it's that whole concept of perfection and imperfection. We are all human, we're all imperfect, we all have fears, we all have doubts. The only way we can get through those things is through our experiences and in our relationships with other people. So you can't heal from relationship issues if you don't have any relationships, because then it's just you on your own, either avoiding the issue altogether, or ruminating over it. Yes, we can learn certain things on our own, but usually the things that we learn come after an experience or a relationship with someone. That's when we're able to reflect on it. If we avoid relationships until we're healed, it'll never happen, because there's nothing to kind of guide us, you know, nothing to, no experience to kind of guide us and mirror things to us. Anyway, I've been on a rant, so I'm going to go to the Four of Cups. So yeah, I think it's just a message to anyone who feels like, oh, well, I'm not healed enough, blah, blah, blah. I, just my personal take, and I'm not saying I'm right, I would say, to be frank, you probably need to allow yourself to go out there and experience more, because that's the quickest way to learn, not by keeping to yourself and thinking you'll fix everything by yourself. You can learn to a certain degree by yourself, but it's the experiences. Nothing beats first-hand experience. No experience is wasted. So anyway, I'll get off that rant and let's look at the Four of Cups. So we have, yeah, it's a little bit of doubt. The Four of Cups again, it's a little bit of doubt. It can be overthinking as well. I know the four, well, yeah, actually the Four of Cups would be overthinking now you think about it, because it's usually, I mean, this for me, this one looks more like meditation, but usually in the Four of Cups, it's been offered something and looking at the other three cups, and that is overthinking, isn't it? It's over contemplating your emotions about whether things are worth the effort or not. So for me, as I say, it feels like a little bit of concern, a little bit of worry, a little bit of doubt, you know, mental, a little bit of a mental trap. It doesn't feel huge, where you're kind of concerned about the potential for success in a relationship. This is obviously we're talking here about things that the person would love about you. So how does it connect to that? I feel like it's like they see you as it's a flaw, isn't it? And it makes you human and imperfect. And I think they would love that about you. They love that you're not absolutely perfect. Yes, they have high standards, but they're not seeking a bloody mystical being. They're seeking a human being. And human beings have flaws. And as I say, because of what they look like they've been through their childhood, they would understand that. They would understand any feelings, little feelings of doubt and worry. So I think they would love that about you. It's a bit of vulnerability, isn't it? Like you may appear on the surface to be confident, and you're not going to, well, no, you are confident and you may not put up with any bullshit, but you're not like, you're not a rock, are you? You're not rock hard that nothing can get to you. You still have, you know, that vulnerability there. So the Six of Wands for me, let's just get a bit of clarification on that. It feels more like it's connected to the sense of doubt about the potential success of the relationship. I almost feel like it makes them view you highly because of the flaws. It raises their opinion of you. I know that sounds a bit weird, but it's like they respect you more for that. Let's get a couple of clarifiers for that, because we're nearly done now. Six of Wands, there's too many. Okay, I've got the Death card and I'm going to take it up. Death Tower. Which one first? Okay, Seven of Pentacles is meant to be first, and then we have the Four of Wands. It feels like with this, it's that you know how much work it takes to make a relationship work because of what you've probably experienced and learned. You know it takes a lot of effort to build a solid foundation, and that you have to keep working on that as well for it to be successful. You don't just start the relationship and then it makes itself work. You have to put that work in, and I think that's another thing that the person loves and respects about you. And it's like, even though you have these doubts and fears and a little bit of worry, it's like you're still willing to put in the work and try and make it successful anyway. So I think that's it, to be honest. I don't think there's anything else I can add to that. This is really interesting. I really like this reading. I mean, I like the first one, but this one was a lot more complex and it's interesting. So yeah, again, if you want to leave me some feedback on if this resonates or not, how you feel about the reading, I'd really appreciate that, because it helps me to understand where I'm going with the channel and with the readings. Other than that, thank you very much for supporting the channel. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day and take care.